I'm wondering if you've noticed something at all about these recent games that have been appearing in the last 5 or so years, tests numbered in the 70s and 80s, where they kind of throw you these curveballs. They kind of harken back to the oldest logic games, like in the first 10 prep tests, where there aren't as many upfront inferences one can make. Have you noticed that?
I've noticed a couple things. There's this equivalent rule item, right? They've replaced an item type with this, and students really struggle with this equivalent rule question type. In the last 10 or 15 tests, there have been a couple of games that really were sort of throwbacks to things that you would see in the first 20 tests or so. I don't know what to make of that. I don't know that that really requires a shift in focus or emphasis for most students. I mean, the curveballs are so infrequent, it seems to me, that it's hard really to spend a lot of time planning for them, other than just to be aware of what they've done recently. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that, I guess, the category of curveball is kind of a hazy category to define, because you could loosely define it as being anything weird at all, or you could define it more strictly as maybe games with only 2 rules or 3 rules and very few, if any, upfront deductions one can make. I think some of these curveball games, though, relate to like pattern types of games where you're kind of recycling or repeating a certain flow. But
Yeah.
over the course of the game, rather than making enormous upfront inferences, like, for example, the games in the 30s, the prep tests numbered in the 30s from the early 2000s, which were completely different, which were much more in the way of deductive reasoning upfront.
So it seems to me that tests in the 30s, 40s, and 50s were way more likely to contain games with 2 group conditional rule games: in, out, in the class, out of the class, 2 group, conditional rule games. It seems to me that some of those tests had 2 of them, whereas now you see 1 every 2 or 3 tests. So that's something I definitely have noticed. Then games where you have sequences of sequences, maybe, where you're rearranging things in an order from one sequence to another. So ordering on ordering in some weird way. I'm always amazed at what they can do with such limited expressive resources in the game section. That really, it's only grouping, ordering, or both. That's it, and it's amazing what they can do with that. The variety of things they can do with that.
Yeah, in just 100 or 200 words, they're able to jam pack so much information. It really is incredible.
Yeah, and that really is an art, I think. Writing those games, that really is an art. So yeah, that's something special.
Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them, and feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.